Where in the heck did the time go moments? I would guess you have. Well, the reality is we can answer this question if we dare to take the time to do so. But I will warn you, you may not be happy with what you learn. It's time to track your time. Oh, we did read this. I know we did. All right, I'm going to go on. You can still track your time. Let's flip the script. We all have that person in our lives, the one with the half empty glass. Oh gosh, yes, they're bummers. They can't help but see the outcome as turning out poorly. Wah, wah. They seem to lack any hope for anything exciting or good. Not even miracles have a shot with these folks. Know who I'm talking about? Have you ever considered whether you have a tendency to be that person? Maybe not all the time, but just now and then. I know I do sometimes, not often though. Don't worry if your answer is yes, and don't get down on yourself. Rather, just be ready this week to flip the script. Boats weren't invented by only focusing on things sinking. Planets aren't explored by assuming we can never reach them. The same goes for our lives and our world. We will only create what we hope for with our positivity turned to the on position. Let's be inspired and focus on the good. Let's believe in a better social ethos that everyone can strive for. Better yet, let's create it together. Because we change our thoughts on the inside, because when we change our thoughts on the inside, we change our worlds and actions on the outside. Flipping the script matters. I'm glad I flipped the page because this is like my jam right here. So Jimmy Buffett, we got to have a quote by Jimmy Buffett today. It takes no more time to see the good side of life than to see the bad. Jimmy. All right, so our take action is take time to reflect on whether you're a negative force and could instead be a positive one. You might be surprised about just how subtly the negative can show itself. This doesn't mean you are a bad person. It just means it's time to flip your script. Done. And I will make a note, I may not be like a negative person very often on the outside, but I know that I need to sometimes flip the script on how I speak to myself, because that may be, you may be great around everybody else and positive and upbeat, but you may be talking the negative to yourself. Okay, so it's just little like for me when I read it, I was like, that's you. So yeah, that's it. Okay, class is over. No. Okay, let's sit up nice and tall and just take a moment to roll your shoulders back a few times. And then next, roll back. Just let your shoulders totally settle down away from your ears. Check your feet, plant them right under your knees. And if you're sitting in a wheelchair, make sure you scoot a little bit away from the back of it so that you can sit up on your own if that's possible. Okay. And then after we've got our body situated, let's go ahead and close our eyes. Let's focus in on our breath. Just listen to the sound of your own breathing. Start to deepen your breath. Notice what parts of your body are in motion because you're breathing. Your rib cage, inside your diaphragm, your lungs, little movements up in your shoulders, do a little check on your breathing. Make sure that when you inhale, you take your breath in and you expand. And then when you exhale, everything gently contracts. And this may sound like a silly reminder, but over time, after injury or surgeries, oftentimes people will flip how they breathe. So just remember, on the in-breath, you're expanding, you're making room for that breath that's coming in. And then as you exhale, you're gently contracting everything, pushing that breath out. And with our eyes still closed, let's let our arms follow that pattern. So as you inhale, let your arms just slowly float out to the sides, almost like you're a balloon about to float up into the air. And then as you exhale, gently draw your arms down, compress everything out, and as if you're squeezing a ball between your hands, squeeze your breath out. Inhale, float, let your arms float up, expand like a balloon being blown up. And then exhale, as if that air is slowly releasing from the balloon. And then finally squeeze your hands as if you're pressing a ball between them. 2 more times. Last one. All right, hands to your lap. Just keep your eyes closed for about 30 more seconds. I want you to think about something that you need more in your life today. Maybe it is what we started talking about, this idea of having the ability to flip your script from a negative talk or thought or action to a positive one. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's having more patience or more energy. Whatever it may be for you today, I just want you to repeat in your head silently a few times, I am, and then whatever you need today. So I am energetic, I am positive, I am present, whatever it may be. Just repeat that 3 times silently in your head. And then slowly let your eyes just kind of blink open. Okay, little seated cat and cow. So now we're going to take our spine into flexion or rounding and extension, the opposite of that. So big breath in to prepare. Exhale, slide your hands to your knees, round into what we call cat pose. And then inhale, slide your hands up your thighs, shoulders back, collarbone broad. Exhale, round. Inhale and open. 3 more. And last one. Good. Okay, back to center. Let's extend your right arm straight up. Go ahead and grab on. And if you can't get your arm all the way overhead, that's okay. So if it needs to be out in front of you, that works too. So just go with what your shoulder will allow. Try not to hold your wrist. Go a little bit below that or above that, depending on how you're looking at your arm here. Keep both sits bones planted on your chair. And then on your exhale, let's take a little lateral bend to our left. So we're stretching out the right side of your waist. Come back to center. Just doing a little pulse. It's not a bounce. It's just going into the stretch and gently coming out. There should be no sharp pain, no pulling in your shoulder. Good, we'll do one more on this side. Excellent. Let's switch arms. So now our left arm, I'm gonna give my shoulder a little circle. If you get a little catch, you've got something going on in your shoulder. I did some funky plank stuff this morning, and I can feel I gotta be mindful not to aggravate something that may be already aggravated. Okay, other direction, a little pull to your right, stretching out your left side waist. And then coming up. 3 more times, gently over to your right. Keep your sits bones planted on your chair. Good, 2 more. And last one. All right, now let's bring our arms out. Actually, let's just all roll our shoulders out for a second. Give your arms a break. Our arms and legs are heavy. You know, it's like holding them up is like lifting hand weights sometimes. Okay, bring your right arm out to the side. We're going to sweep it across in front. Either hook with your elbow of your opposite arm or just gently pull your arm across. Now this shoulder, we're going to drop and breathe. You can figure 8 your wrist. Send some blood all the way down to your fingers, into your wrist joint, to all those little joints of your fingers. As a reminder, if you have any arthritis in your hands, the more you move them, and I know it's not comfortable, but the better off you're going to feel in the long run. You need to keep those joints in motion. So sometimes, you know, grabbing like one of those little squishy stress balls, great if you have arthritis in your hands. Okay, let's bring our opposite arm across. Again, you can start with a little wrist figure 8. And then you can go into that kind of crunchy, scrunchy, like you're squeezing a ball. Good. All right. Now let's walk our knees over to the right. So you're going to sit sideways in your chair. If you can't sit sideways, if you have arms on your chair, that's okay. You could use the arm to help twist you. So you don't have to turn your knees for this one if that's not possible. So our knees are to the side, maybe, and we're going to twist to our right. So if your knees are sideways, you're holding on to the back of your chair. If your knees are still forward, you're holding on to the right arm of your chair. Okay. So plant down through those sits bones like the roots of a tree, and then exhale, gently rotate your middle and upper back to the right. Let your right shoulder kind of lead the way, kind of pull you over to the right or back to the right. Big, deep breaths. All right, slowly untwist. If you're walking your knees to the side, go to the other side. Sit up tall, hands to the back of your chair. And then let's twist this time to your left. Deep breaths. One more breath here. And walk yourself back to center. Okay, let's move down to our feet. Just start to tap all 10 toes up and down off of the ground. And you do this long enough and you're going to feel, you know, some real engagement here at the front of your shins, which if you are spending a good amount of your day seated, Really important to keep that movement, that motion happening in your lower body, keep those muscles firing, keep all that synovial fluid in your joints moving around, because if we don't move it, it gets kind of sticky and thick and our joints start to crackle a lot, maybe not feel so good. Okay, now same thing, but with our heels lifting, maybe a little slower for this one. And these are simple moves, right? They may seem like, why are we doing these? It's because we don't do them a lot. And this is easy stuff that you could do every single day, obviously, while you're seated. Okay, extend your right leg out, but we're not going to straighten it all the way. So you have a little bend in your right knee, and like windshield wipers on a vehicle, that's what your right foot is doing. So now this is getting up actually into our hip joint, which, like our shoulders, right, have lots of movement because they're a ball and socket joint too. Shoulders and our hips are the only joints in our body that are a ball and socket. So they have lots of movement. Good. Now we are going to straighten our right leg, and we're going to point our toes down so that maybe they even touch the ground. And then the opposite, really pull your toes as far away from the ground as you can. Push down now, pointing the foot, and then dorsiflex, pull your toes up. One more time. Nice. We're going to keep our right leg out there and keep our foot flexed. Make sure you're on your seat enough that you don't fall off of it when you lean forward. And we're going to scoop down as if we were gathering up something down there and reach up. Hands down by your sides, and then forward, reach up. One more time, down and forward, reach up. Good. Keep your leg out there. We're going to come with our arms out to the side and come to a flat back. Okay. Extend out, pull your navel to your spine so you're using your abdominals. Squeeze your shoulder blades in towards your spine. Breathe. So we're doing a couple of things here. We're stretching out our hamstrings and also our back. But with our arms out like this, we're also getting a little core, right? We're making our abdominals work to hold us up there. So now we're going to take that right ankle onto our left knee. If it can't get all the way up onto the knee, that's okay. You go as far up your shin as you can. And now let's circle our right ankle. Ooh, crack, crack. And then switch, go the other direction with your circles. All right, now we're getting into our hip and our piriformis, our IT band. So again, flex this foot up, keep your spine long, and pull your heart over your shin. We're not rounding our spine. We're not looking down at the ground. We're just kind of looking out in front of us about 6-7 feet. This is one of those that I feel like I could stay in for like 15 minutes. All right, sit up tall, knee over knee. So we're still on this right leg. And now we're going to rotate our spine again. Some of you can come low and pull your elbow around, and some of you would just hold onto your thigh and rotate that way. The rotation's not for your low back. So really get your sits bones on the chair and keep them there. If you have your elbow around, you may be able to put your left hand into a fist, your right hand flat, and gently rotate around. If it bothers your neck at all to look over your right elbow, then just look down at the ground. Good. Slowly come on out. And now I get to see if I remember all of that I just did on our right leg. over to our left. Well, I can tell my dog's gonna bark here in a second because my husband's coming home. Okay, the joys of Zoom yoga. Okay, let's extend our left leg, but not all the way. Okay, so soft left knee, and you're gonna go side to side like one windshield wiper. Going back and forth, deep breaths. And again, this is really for your hip. It's also good for your ankle joint, but really good for our hip if we don't do a lot of this motion. And this is a really safe place to access your hips because, you know, you're not standing up and balancing on them. You've got the solidity of the chair beneath you. So it's a little safer. Okay, what did I do next? I think did I point and flex? I think so. Yeah, let's do that. Point and flex. Point and flex. So all the while the lower leg is doing stuff, we are keeping that good posture. So again, we're not using the back of the chair. We're holding ourselves up using our own muscles. Good. I'm thinking, is it a lot of stuff? Oh yeah, now we go down. So we're gonna keep that foot flexed, and now we're gonna sweep down, forward, and up. Down, forward, and up. One more time. Down, forward, and up. Now we're going to bring our arms out. We're going to come to our flat back. And again, multitasker, hamstrings, back muscles, abdominals, shoulders, right? Everything is pretty much working here. And if you turn the corners of your mouth out, then your face is working. Deep breaths. All right. And here's the dog. All right, so we're at our flat back and now we're up, and let's cross left ankle over your right knee. Let's do some circles with your left ankle. Deep breaths. Sitting up tall, shoulders back. Let's go the other way. All right, bring that ankle into that flexed position. Sit up tall and slowly lean forward. Try not to round your spine. Let me shut the door. All right, now, let's see. Oh, knee over knee. So left knee over your right, squeeze your thighs together. Either your elbow comes around or just grab your thigh. But let's go into that rotation. Again, optional to look over your shoulder. Take deep breaths. Last breath here. And then slowly untwist. Okay, so that was the half-hour mark. So if you are staying seated, I would say maybe Katie can guide you through just a little breathing practice. The rest of us are going to come up to standing. So just want to give that kind of delineation. If you're staying on your chair, you can definitely do that. Otherwise, we're going to stand up, and I've got my chair just centered in front of me. We're going to do some inner thigh stuff. just to stretch things out. This will be in our hips again. So step your feet wide first, all 10 toes pointing forward. Engage your quadriceps and then bend your elbows, drop your heart towards your chair. Now, depending on your flexibility, you may walk down your chair. You may even get to the ground. Just take some deep breaths. And if you went further than your chair seat, just walk yourself back up onto your chair seat. Hold the outsides of your chair. Turn all 10 toes now away from your midline. Okay, Skandasana pulse. So bend your right knee, bend your elbows, keep your spine long, and look forward again about, 6 feet away from your chair. Then come up to center, straight legs, round your spine, look back at your belly button. And go to the other leg. Bend your left knee, extend your spine, and then through center, round. Now, you can start to make this more at your pace of your breath. So you'll inhale as you go to the side, exhale when you come to center, inhale to your other side, exhale, come to center. So you can do this at your own pace. One more time each side. And then back to center. Just turn all 10 toes back to the front of the room. We're going to keep our right hand down, left hand down, and bring your right hand fingertips just to the side of your ear. Okay, soften your knees a little bit. This is for your core. It's also some rotation, so good for your spine and your shoulder. So what we're going to do here is exhale, push your breath out, press elbow to elbow. And then on your inhale, open your right elbow up towards the ceiling. Exhale, squeeze your breath out. Inhale, up towards the ceiling. Let's do 2 more. Squeeze. And extend. Last one, squeeze. And extend. Good, bring your right hand down, left hand fingertips behind your ear. Same thing on this side, squeeze and open. Squeeze and open. 2 more times. Last one. Good. Bring both hands back to the chair seat. Toe heel your feet in. So you're at like a standing forward bend position. So feet hip width distance apart. Engage the muscles above your knees, your quadriceps. Keep those engaged as you bend your elbows and then straighten. So do this with your breath. Keep your quads engaged. Exhale, soften your elbows and extend. Now, if you think about drawing your elbows straight back towards your body, then you're going to get some tricep action here, almost like you're doing push-ups for your triceps. Last one. Good. We want to come up slow because we've been down here a while. Hands to your hips first. Push into your heels and come on up to standing. Okay. So We'll do just like one round of continuing to warm up hamstrings, inner thighs, outer thighs, hips, and then we're gonna go back into those hamstrings a little deeper. Okay, so let's start standing, facing your chair. Inhale, reach your arms up. On your exhale, let's take a side stretch to your right. Drop your right arm down, lean to your right. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale and lean to your left. Inhale, both arms up. And then exhale, soft knees, bring your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders back. You may or may not straighten your arms. Deep breaths, just opening your chest. And then soft elbows, release your hands, come down to your chair seat. On your next inhale, extend your right leg back. Keep all 5 toes of your right foot pointing down towards the ground. Now, use your glutes and your hamstrings. Bend your right knee as if you were going to kick yourself in the booty. And then inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale and extend. One more time. Squeeze and extend. Now step your right foot forward and your left foot back. So we're coming down, both feet are flat on your mat, okay? Keep your left hand on your chair, right hand to your hip. Let's draw our right shoulder back. Optional to extend your arm as well. Now for me, when I extend the arm, I start to feel like a little bit too much pressure back here in my low back. So for me, it's best just to keep my hand on my hip and rotate that way. But you know, you may not have the same issues I have. I hope you don't. And breathe. And then bring your hand back to the chair. Now we're going to step our left foot back a few more inches so that we can get that stretch down our calf muscle. So your left heel is off of the mat and you're just pressing some weight back into your left heel. And then let's add that spinal flexion again, round your spine. And then extension, lengthen your spine. 2 more of those, round. And then lengthen. Last one, round. And lengthen. All right, grab your chair. You can do a couple like hops forward with your left foot so your feet are back under you. Shimmy your hips for a moment. And then let's switch legs. Inhale your left leg up. All 5 toes of your left foot point down towards the ground. And then engage glutes and hamstrings as you bend your knee. And then extend. 2 more times. Bend. And extend. Last one. Bend. And extend. Step your left foot under your chair, right foot back a bit, just enough to get both feet flat. Good. Right hand's going to stay on your chair, left hand to your hip. Let's draw our left shoulder blade in towards the spine. Again, optional would be to extend your left arm. Deep breaths. And then release. Both hands to the sides of the chair. Step your right foot back several inches. Come into that lunge. Push back into your right heel. Stretch out your calves. And breathe. All right, let's add flexion and extension. So exhale, look back at your navel, round your spine. Inhale, extend long. 2 more times. Last one. All right, step or hop your foot forward, both feet under your hips, shimmy your hips around a little bit. And then plant your feet down, soft knees, hands to your hips, push into your heels, and come on up to standing. Okay, turn your chair around. So your chair seat points towards me. And we're gonna stand to the left of our chair. And we're gonna stand facing it, facing the side, and put your right foot on the chair. So all 5 toes of your right foot up. Okay, you can either have your hands on your hip or your right hand can come down to the chair back. Okay, let's get into our hamstrings again. So it starts with our pelvis first. Press your pelvis backward. Keep your spine elongated and then come forward. Maybe your left hand fingertips go to the chair, maybe not. Seems like a bit too much right now. So I'm going to keep my hand on my hip. Okay, now put the bottom of your right foot on your chair seat. This is more hip flexor. So if your hip flexors are more flexible, you may have to walk your left foot back away from your chair just a little bit. And then we're going to lean forward, lean into your right knee and drop your pelvis down. So we're feeling this most likely on the very front of our left hip. And quadriceps. And then you can add to that by extending your left arm up. You could even cradle the back of your head and get that nice myofascial stretch all the way down the left side. And then slowly come on out. We're going to keep our right foot on the chair, but for safety's sake, let's go ahead and take our right foot off just so we can turn towards the front of the room. So now you're just sideways with your chair. Bring your right foot back onto the chair, all 5 toes pointing away from you. We're going to come into that Captain Morgan, getting into our inner thighs now. All our adductor muscles. Deep breaths. You can do that cradling of your head again. Just wrap your left hand around the opposite side of your head. And you're really just kind of holding your head in line with your spine. So this is a variation of extended side angle. Now we're going to do a chair variation of Trikonasana triangle pose. So you can toe heel your left foot away from the chair a little bit more so that your right leg will straighten. Then point the toes of your right foot down. We're going to take our right hand, slide down our right leg, and either extend your left arm overhead like so, or again, cradle your head, hold it up. Big deep breaths. Good, release your left arm, pick yourself back up, slide your foot off the chair. And let's just walk around. I don't really have room, but actually I'm gonna flip my chair just so I can use the back of it for a down dog. So go ahead and step away from your chair, drop your chin down towards the ground, chest between your arms. Your knees can be a little bent to get this more of a back extension rather than a hamstring stretch. And then look forward at your chair and just walk your feet up towards it. Okay, I'm gonna switch my chair to the other side. So we're gonna start again facing our chair. This time it will be our left leg that's experiencing the stretch. So left foot on your chair, straight left leg first, hands to your hips to start. So we're tilting our pelvis back, making more room between your navel and your sternum. Bring your chest forward. Maybe your left hand comes down and grabs your chair. Breathe. And then come on up. Now, bottom of your left foot down. And again, you may have to scoot awkwardly your right heel back. Hip flexor stretch for the right hip now. Go ahead and come forward. Drop down towards your chair. And then optional is to extend your right arm up. Slowly come out. Slide your left foot off the chair, turn. So you're now side by side with your chair. We're going to bring our left foot back up onto the chair, all 5 toes pointing away from you. Let's go into that side stretch or extended side angle is basically what we are doing. We just added a chair. Deep breaths. Good. Slowly come on up. Toe heel your right foot away from your chair. Extend your left leg straight. Slide your left hand down. A little variation of triangle pose. Good. Slowly draw yourself back up. Slide your foot off. Let's do one more down dog on our chair. So hands on the back of your chair. Walk back, soft knees. You can drop your chest down between your arms. Look at your chair, walk your feet towards it. Okay, so we're gonna close with just 2 restorative yoga moves. And actually, it's gonna be 1 restorative yoga move because I wanna be in it for a while. This is so great because so many of us have low back issues, right? Sciatica, just lumbar spine pain, cranky low back, whatever you want to call it. And this one doesn't feel like a whole lot when you're in it. But I can promise you, if you hold this for a good, we have 10 minutes left. So we're going to hold this for just 3 minutes on each leg, which is not a lot. You could be in 5 minutes each leg, but you do want your chair and maybe a small thin blanket under your head. Or if you're getting chilly, put a blanket over your body, okay? So what we're gonna do is face the chair. You're gonna slide one leg under it, doesn't matter which, because we're gonna do both sides. So it's under the chair. And then your other leg is gonna sit on the chair seat, okay, with your foot. Hopefully you've got a chair with a hole right there and you can get your foot all the way through, okay? And that's it. That's where we're gonna lay. We're gonna come back lay on our backs. I will start my little timer for 3 minutes on each side. And so your goal is to not wiggle around, to not like consciously readjust, and instead just let this form that your body is in right now and the weight of your body and the movement of your breath, let it do the work. So we're no longer trying to stretch. We're just putting our body in a position and then letting time, gravity, do the job. I'll let you know when we'll switch sides. And you may find that your mind starts to roam when we get into this restorative pose. That's okay. Don't judge yourself or get frustrated. Just don't entertain it. So just bring your attention back to the sound of your breath and to this moment. All right, that was our 3 minutes. So I want you to take your time getting out of this. Bring your leg that's on the chair off first, and then use your hands to press yourself up. You're gonna have to slide back. You're gonna have to bonk your shin like I just did, and then switch legs. Make sure you get close enough to the chair, under the chair, to get your opposite leg now up on the chair seat. And then once you've done that, you can scoot down all the way onto your back. No, I don't need your help. For another 3 minutes now on this side. Notice if you're gripping or holding. And just consciously tell your physical body to release, to let go of any of that holding. Sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. Let your mind focus on your breath and on being in this moment. That's our 3 minutes. And then from here, again, slide your foot off that's on the chair. Use your hands, press up. And then if it's safe for you to do, just take your chair off of your legs and go ahead and settle back for Shavasana. So you can either be flat on your back or maybe put something up under your knees. And just lay down on your back. Close your eyes. Let your mind be clear, free from mental distractions and chatter. Allow your mind to take on the qualities of a bright blue sky. Expansive, open. No clouds, no birds today, just endless blue. When if thoughts do come up, as they will, you can just imagine them like a bird or like a cloud. They're there one moment in your line of sight, but the next they're gone, leaving no trace. And gently put one hand near your heart and place the other near your stomach. Allow a sense of gratitude to wash over you. Gratitude for yet another day that we're gifted with to be on this earth, to make a positive impact in ours and others' lives. Another breath, another heartbeat, all things to be grateful for. And then with that gratitude printed on your heart, let's go ahead and begin to move and stretch fingers, toes. Take a big breath in as you stretch your body from your toes to your fingers. And gently roll over to your side and pause. Use your hands to press on up to a comfortable seated position. And gather your hands in Anjali Mudra, heart center. May the benefits of our practice this morning serve us as well as others. Maybe it is a little more presence, positivity that others feel. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Namaste.